know what's up with that.
Yeah, he always say he gets off at 8:30.
Yeah.
That's usually the time we start, man. What do you want?
It's a trash ass shift. Okay. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Planet Xbox episode 80. Dude, my count was off for the last couple episodes, but 80 is the correct number. I went back and corrected the numbers, but shout out to the people that is here. You may hit that like button, that share button, and you may comment, chat, whatever you like. I'm happy to be here. Okay, look, looks like we got people in here, so shout out to the people. Yo, there's been a lot of people trying to expose me this week, and it hasn't been fucking working. We'll be discussing that. But shout out to Barbecue Sauce, Bless Red, Carlos, Alex PSX. Yeah, hit the like button, hit the share button. It's a few of you guys in here. If we get the perfect engagement, there's 35 of you in here right now, so it should be easily to get a perfect match at 35. Man. Yeah, so
sweating, baby, I'm sweating.
Yeah. NickBanks, what up? All right, it's just four of us today, which is fine. Wasn't too many things going on today, but let's get through intros. Ole Man Logan, what's up? How you doing? What you been playing?
Yo, okay, so we're doing the whole shebang.
Yeah.
We're playing stuff. In the past week, actually, I've been pretty active with playing stuff. So I finished up Fist on the PlayStation 5. That was a great game. Very much enjoyed it. I would give it an easy 7.5 out of 10. Then I played through do some spooky type games. So I actually got into the Dark Anthology. I don't know if you guys have played those series.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the one to come out, the last one, House of Ashes, buddy.
House of Ashes is coming out this month. So I actually played, Man of Medan with my wife. Like, it's really, I didn't even know it was a thing until I kind of looked into it, because I was like, we liked, playing those kind of.
Oh man, turn yourself up.
Turn myself up.
Or get closer to the mic. Get closer to the mic like this.
All right. Sorry. I had to mess with my mic wasn't working correctly when I first got on Discord.
Cool.
I think I'm doing good now. But so I was looking for something for kind of like my wife and I to play together, because we would usually sit and watch and do the Telltale games, and I saw that Man of Medan has a movie night mode, which I don't know if anybody's seen that or play those or anything, but it's a really cool mode where you and 4 other players, so 5 people all together, can pick one of the characters in the game, and you play it's like you pass the controller around and you play that character for that role. It'll pop up with the person's name when they're going to play. And so we played through Man of Medan. That was super fun to play through. And then I started up Scarlet Nexus, which I kind of regret that I started it up, because it's actually really good. And I'm supposed to be doing all these spooky, scary streams and stuff on Twitch, because Alan Wake Remastered came out, and so I started Scarlet Nexus, but then put that on hold. The second Alan Wake Remastered came out yesterday, because that's I know we've talked about it before, but Alan Wake Remastered is one of my all-time favorite games, especially on the 360 generation and stuff like that. And to have it come out and remastered was definitely a nice treat. Game looks good, plays good. I would recommend it. If you don't, I'd recommend it even if you're a person that because I think, Smooth, you don't like horror games that much, right?
Good, they can't. Yeah, I'm not the big. It gotta be. I could do light horror. I can't do yeah.
I would. I mean, did you ever play Alan Wake?
Yeah, I think Alan Wake's garbage.
Okay,
but go ahead.
Okay. Oh, you think? God damn! Why you gotta do that to me?
I saw BG playing. I'm gonna buy the remaster, because maybe over time I can just. I've been, I've done played a lot of games, so I think I'm starting to tolerate certain styles. But when Alan Wake, when they first came out, I wasn't feeling it, and then I bought it. I had it again for via backwards compatibility, and I couldn't get into it. So I don't know if any much has changed. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, you're all right. It's just, I was damn, it was one of my favorite games. I was gonna recommend it to you if you didn't play it, because I knew you didn't. We're big into horrors, because it's more of a psychological thriller versus a horror aspect type of game. And dude, I don't know if it's not a spoiler or anything, but they actually added I posted my reaction up on Twitter of it, but they added QR codes into the game. and you can scan the QR codes with like your phone, right? And it'll pull you up to the Remedy Entertainment YouTube page. And they actually like filmed like these like visions and stuff for Alan Wake, like, and uploaded them 4 months ago. And they're hidden, they're like private, and they're hidden behind a link that the only way you can get to them is with the QR code. So like the fact that Remedy, I mean, is totally something Remedy didn't need to do, because Alan Wake is one, it's a fair, I think it's a very fair price remaster, because it's only $30. And you know, they didn't have to do anything other than, you know, update it, you know, have it run at 60 frames, you know, update the resolution a little bit and stuff. But they went above and beyond and added like this little Easter egg into the remastered version that they didn't have to do, and it's kind of cool to like watch this stuff. So I'm trying to,
you know what else is cool? How Alan Wake remaster got leaked and announced within a week, right? They did both of that. A month later, the game drops, but we still don't got any news on Crossfire X.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, like the thing is, so obviously, I mean, they had, when you look at the date when these videos got uploaded, these videos got uploaded 4 months ago for the remastered version of this.
Yeah.
Like they were uploaded 4 months ago.
We known about Crossfire X like what, a year and a half now?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I'll be playing a bunch of horror games this month. I'm gonna be playing Far Cry 6 when it, you know, fully releases tomorrow. And so I'm just, you know, I've been a busy season as hell. And I actually had a little bit of news I shared last night where I don't know if you guys know Level 1
go ahead.
Gaming.
Yeah, do it.
If you guys are familiar with Level 1 Gaming, actually got set up to be a writer for the site, doing a couple posts and stuff. And so I did a little article about five if spooky, scary games to get you in the mood for this Halloween season that got uploaded on the site. And I'll be putting more stuff out there. I think it's like once a week I'll be putting stuff out on that site. So excited for that opportunity. Level 1 Gaming, the dudes are all really cool. They're really nice. They open up their arms to me, welcome me into their family, and yeah, I think that's about it.
Question, Smooth, do you have like a fan on in the background?
Oh, is it really that loud? Hold on.
Yeah, people can hear it through the stream.
Oh, you know what? That's my Xbox. Let me turn it off. That was my Xbox. I forgot advanced from the the top. You can, and the mic is right next to it, so you can hear it.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah. So. So shout out to Ole Man Logan. Congrats with the addition of the Level 1 Gaming to be a part of the writing team. So that's good. So I'll be looking forward to it. It's easy to bring some more topics to the podcast since you get an article once a week. Highlight that. And also shout out to Fame of Level 1 Gaming. He's been doing it big with his website and with his podcast. So. Me and Fame, we came up together, at least on the YouTube side of things. I think we were in the same. I want to say we were in the same draft class. Like, I guess we were in the same YouTube draft class that year with that 2014, 2013 year, where it was just a lot of us coming up at around the same time. So shout out to Fame there. Nick, man, what are you currently playing? What's been having you all tied up?
Man, this is surprising to me because you know me, I don't mess with no JRPGs or whatever, man. But this Scarlet Nexus to me is heat, man. So far, I'm giving it an 8, But I'm on I don't know how many phases it is, but I'm on phase 7, I think now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, spoil it.
What do you mean? I mean, it's like I beat it. So I beat it when it came. I bought it. So when it came out.
Yeah, I'm fighting the chick, man. Kanisa or something like that. You know what I'm talking about, the chick, and she got the other two companions with her. That joint kind of hard.
Yeah, it's a little OP. They're cheating.
Yeah, when you get to the brain level. But I'm digging it. Even the story, and I'm not a big anime person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty picky when it comes to anime. But I just been playing that. I played the Halo Infinite beta.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. It had a little. I didn't really get that many bugs with it. I did kind of a few lag here and there. And that was it. But yeah, that's pretty good. Can't wait for that release and the Battlefield. and I played that today before I left out. And that joint is pretty bugged, but I like it.
But you like it.
Yeah, and they only give you one map, and it's like you get like I don't know, man. It's just Battlefield 4 on steroids, pretty much. So,
okay.
I'm definitely gonna be getting that, but that's all I've been playing so far.
What about yourself, Dope?
They're still saying that there's background noise. Is like, do you have different audio on in the background of the stream besides like just your mic?
Like what they hearing? It's probably my PC fan. It's below my desk.
Like it's like
I don't see like smooth like mic going off though.
No, we don't hear it on our side.
Oh, because it's probably picking up from OBS. Matter of fact, let me make sure that the audio.
OBS, yeah.
Yeah, let me see. It's not OBS. Yeah, OBS be on some dumb shit, so it probably sound crazy. No, it's picking up the proper mic, but it is, the feedback is kind of crazy right now. Hold on. Shit, I guess I gotta, I don't know. Let me see if I'm running too many programs. No, OBS, Discord. Here, let me close out some tab. I don't know. Like, it should be no different from what I typically do. Oh man.
Lower your gain. Lower your gain.
I've never even messed with this thing though. That's the thing. Like,
mute the game.
Let me see. Better? Like, I don't know.
Give me a second. I'll listen to the stream right now. It's a little bit better. I don't know. It is what it is. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh my god, I don't know, because I don't mess with like my mic volumes. Like, I only do it from a software side of thing. Last time I did anything with my mic was the Mixcraft program, but that's something completely different. Let me go settings. But Jay, you can tell them what you've been playing while I mess around with this. I don't know, man.
Oh, I played a bit of the Battlefield 2042 beta early this morning. Obviously, I played the Halo Infinite Flight. We talked about that last week, so I really don't have much to say on that. But I'm liking Battlefield so far. It did crash on me twice, so hopefully, when I play after the stream, it doesn't do that on me at all. But yeah, the game runs well on my PC. The movement's nice. I really do like the movement a lot. Like, they increase the sprint speed a lot inside that game and add the slide mechanics so that you could traverse through the map because it is much bigger when you're playing on PC and next gen. So that's a plus. The weapons feel great. Audio is a bit flat, but I need to play around with the audio in the game a bit more just to gauge what's going to be the best profile for me to use with my headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game's been pretty fun for me. I like it a lot. Obviously, we're going back to Modern Combat, so it's very refreshing to go back to that style and that era inside Battlefield after having, like, I don't know, like the past two Battlefield games, Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, they didn't really appeal to me because I don't like World War II shooters at all. I feel like it's been really, really played out, so you can't really do nothing new with that genre. That's my only thing in terms of shooters. But yeah, I've been playing that for a bit, but I haven't played anything newer, like no new games. I mean, I downloaded the Scarlet Nexus, but I haven't touched it. I've just been really busy with other things in my life as of recent, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it looks like they're saying it's fixed smooth.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's my it's my PC. I think it's one of these cords is hitting the fan, and it's like making like this ticking sound. But I don't know if my mic is very sensitive today to be picking that up because I don't really change my settings. That's just probably honestly it's my PC. That's the only thing that's left that's emitting sound right now. But I apologize for it. So obviously I've been playing a couple of games. The game I've been playing pretty much for the last week is Far Cry 6. I put out my review this morning. I put out a couple game play vids earlier in the week. I actually made a mistake. I put out the gameplay like 2 hours too early the first time, so I had to temporarily take it down. But man, just to kind of, I'm not gonna obviously spoil it. The game comes out tomorrow. I think it's a a great game. It's the most fun I've had with a Far Cry game. My history with Far Cry, it's limited. I bought and played Far Cry 3, 4, Primal, and 5. The furthest I got in any of them was Far Cry 3. I think I'm still currently at the towards the end of the game in Far Cry 3, and Far Cry 5 I played a lot. Far Cry 4 and Primal I got a lot of hours, but I don't know if I don't know how far I am because I felt like those games were just too bloated. But I've always really just been like kind of like hesitant and about the game because it just seems busy, and I feel like I got bored out of those games. So when it came to Far Cry 6, I mean, if I have the opportunity to to play it early, I mean, I'm going to do that. So that's why obviously I had access to the recode. But so I figured if you guys heard me talk about the game, like even when it was revealed, I was like, I'm not really looking forward to it, right? So it wasn't on my radar, and I think because it wasn't really on my radar is kind of really what had me change my tone about it, because it became something that I just end up enjoying. Obviously, I'm not naturally a fan of Far Cry, so fans of the series might have, obviously a different opinion on this game than I would have. But based off what I played of previous games and versus this game, I just feel like the gameplay is more accessible. It's more approachable. It's more fun. It's like the game has the Far Cry's have. I don't think there's not a Far Cry game that has a bad story. I think all their stories have been pretty good. They do a good job with all their their prime antagonists and shit like that. And John Carlos does a wonderful job. The story's dope. But beyond like the story being dope, the game itself, they allow you to have fun with this game. I like the world. I like this sandbox. And one of the things that I'll drop a game if I'm forced to fly anywhere. So, and Nick knows this. If there's a racing game I have to play and I'm forced to do like a drag race or a drift or some shit, like I'm dropping that shit, right? So in games like these games, when I'm forced to fly, like I could drive, I'll run across the map before I'll fly, right? If I have to fly in a game and you have bad flying mechanics, I have to drop the game. I dropped it. Yeah, that's why I think I had dropped Far Cry 5 because of some of the flying missions. So that literally is a turnoff. But this game has some of the best vehicle mechanics and handling I've ever played, and I don't like driving in vehicles and stuff like that in first person. So the fact that they managed to have good driving mechanics and managed to do it in first person, I was like, okay, I could fly a helicopter, I could fly a plane, I could do it. And a horse, surprisingly, I mean, I know a lot of people like Red Dead Redemption, but the horseback riding in this is pretty legit. It's like it works. So I admired these little small things that made the game more playable. So it's like now I didn't mind traversing through the world and experiencing different things, going clearing out different outposts and stuff like that. Sure, all that stuff is in previous Far Cry games, but it was fun to do, and obviously co-op helps, but I didn't find myself like dropping or wanting to drop the game, and people were like, oh, you're only saying it's good because you got it for free and all this other stuff, you got it early, and this is what I'm about to do to you guys right now, and I'll get back into the Far Cry impressions. Here, I'm gonna list quite a few games that I've gotten early that I haven't reviewed. I've gotten for this very same purpose. I got Ghost Recon Wildlands, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, The Division 2, The Crew 2. I've gotten I got a couple Activision, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, Call of Duty. What's the one before that? Modern Warfare. Yep, got that one. I'm telling you, these are all the ones I got for review purposes and got early. I have no reviews of any of those games. Like, no, the only thing I did for Call of Duty Black is like it made one of my top 10 lists because I actually enjoyed the campaign, but I didn't like enjoy enough to. I didn't want to put out coverage on it. I might have streamed a game or two, maybe, but like just to give you a heads up, like just because I get a review code, I don't just cap and say, oh, the game is great. The game is great. There's games that I literally dropped because I couldn't finish it, or I got bored. And that was in the first few handful of games were all like Ubisoft games. It's the games I just don't like. Far Cry, like I said, could have been easily been that game. It just so happens I didn't get bored when I was playing it. And then when I found out, like when I'm playing, I was like, hold up, you can actually do co-op? And I'm like, okay, let's do it. I hit up Addict and I was like, yo, this game has co-op. And what we did, we didn't do the campaign in co-op, even though you can. We literally just cleared the map out. Like we went to different outposts and just opened up the map. So by the time I got back to my solo play, I didn't have to worry about open up those outposts. I could just fast travel to get from point A to point B and whatnot. And I just thought that aspect was pretty fun. This time, your player, he's not a fucking mute. Last game, your character was a mute, didn't talk. Was just a silent mercenary. This time around, you're not. You're actually a character. The character has personality. They added a lot of perks. You know, you got a couple companions. It's funny. The game, you know, it takes itself seriously and not take itself seriously at the same time. It's just they made a very entertaining video game, and I think I'm probably one of the only people that gave it like such high praise is because it's not because I don't know what to say. When I was playing the game, I couldn't find anything that was wrong with the game. I couldn't say, oh, this is bad. And the things I did point out, you know, I mentioned like before when I was playing the game, I was playing obviously without a day one patch. I definitely experienced like screen tearing when I was doing co-op. That was like just visible on the screen. I got the day one patch on the 4th of October or the 5th of October. So obviously performance was cleaned up and everything. But as far as the game itself, the package, the presentation, I think the soundtrack's dope. It's all Latin music and reggaeton. I think the environment's great. I think all the voice acting and the voice casting is fantastic. I just don't know what to point out and say what's wrong with this game. Like,
I think for people who've been more invested in the Far Cry franchise are essentially burnt out at this point in time. You haven't played as much as they have, so like.
Well, I see. That's where I
like 3 until now.
Yeah. I'll say this: I haven't beaten. One, I don't believe most people that say, "Oh, I'm burned out." I don't believe they've beaten all the Far Cry games. I haven't. Of course, I haven't beaten all the Far Cry games because, like I said, I get burnt out just in the middle of the game. Like I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't feel like doing this. It's like people think, this is your first Far Cry. It's not my first Far Cry. It's just the first one I actually liked. That's the biggest difference. But I can see where people would get burnt out. I mean, same thing with Assassin's Creed. Like, I'm happy Assassin's Creed games are like not every year because I think I would be a little burnt out if another Valhalla size Assassin's Creed game came out and it was quote unquote pretty much similar to the last game, just in a different area. I know exactly what to expect. Yeah, I would feel a little burnt out because I play the crap out of all the Assassin's Creed, and then Immortals Phoenix was a nice spin, nice twist that kind of made it feel like its own game. Even though a lot of people compare it to Assassin's Creed, I still don't quite see it. But it's
definitely a different game.
Yeah,
like, it's not a typical Ubisoft formulaic game like how Assassin's Creed was for a bit and how Far Cry is now. Like, I don't know, with Far Cry, they've taken it too far now to the point where a lot of people just don't care about the game anymore. Mm-hmm. They will literally wait for it to go on sale. They're not spending $60 on the game day one.
I mean, hey,
the numbers be pretty good though. Bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, it doesn't look bad. It definitely doesn't look like a bad game. It just looks more of the same.
Yeah. And for me, because I enjoy Far Cry, so I'm pumped for Far Cry 6.
Yeah. I think you'll like it, man. I think you'll like it.
Yeah, so like the only Far Cry that I didn't really care for was Far Cry 4 because that came off after the high of like when Far Cry 3 came out, dude. That was like it. Like that was like one of the best Far Cry games to come out, and then they've kind of kept with the same formula since Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 became very successful, and then they just kind of I feel like they've just kind of copied and pasted it. Obviously they did new additions and stuff to that. But Far Cry 4 is really the only one that I didn't get into. I loved Far Cry 5, and I enjoyed New Dawn, with it being, a direct sequel to like Far Cry 5. Cause that's the first
I'm sorry, old man, but you skipped one, and everybody skips Primal.
Primal, yeah, dude. Like, well, because like I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Far Cry Primal, I did not play that. And like I've heard that it's good. It's just, dude, I don't want to play a game where I'm using like arrows and sticks and stuff. Like, I get like that's why I don't say anything about it, because I can't say yes I enjoyed it or yes I didn't, because I've never played it just because. Well, one,
you should try.
I don't have that.
Let me try to, because these people are like, oh, smooth. It's just like Far Cry 5. All right, so you don't know the reasons why I don't like Far Cry 5. Like I said, in Far Cry 5, I'm not the biggest fan of the setting. Yeah, it was America, which had an attraction to it, but the story, the concept, I wasn't really the biggest fan of. The whole cult, the religious cult stuff. Like,
it was on Montana, right?
Yeah, I wasn't
that
really
was a good story,
stuff
bro.
like that turns me. I'm pretty sure the story. I mean, you can find good in the story in
you
terms
would not
of
like the show Midnight Mass, then.
Yeah, it was. It's just not my vibe. Like, in terms of like, it was like I wasn't interested like in like the people, like the countryness didn't amuse me. And like I said, I knew what the story was like going in. I was like, let me get a try. But then as the game opened up, I'm like, I can do without this. And I didn't like the vehicle control in the game. To me, if I'm almost certain I'm gonna go back to Far Cry 5, right? I'm gonna try to play it, because the one I really want to finish up is Far Cry 3, because I know I'm at like the second half of the game. I know I play. That's the one I got like the most time in terms of just focus game, and I was actually enjoying myself playing. And Far Cry Primal, I played for the simple fact it was just I thought it was completely different. It was just a reskin Far Cry 4 and like prehistoric time, But in terms of like, oh, it's exactly like, no, I can't say it's exactly like, because like I said, I had fun with this game. I had fun. The thing is, I'm more inclined to push myself to play a game that I paid for than when I'm not paying for. Just to give you a heads up, guys. Like, I'm more inclined to pay for it. Like I said, this has nothing to do with anything. And there, like I said, I've gotten review codes and stuff for games that I never reviewed, out of courtesy. If I know I ain't gonna review the game or I'm not gonna finish the game, the most I'll do like, all right, I'll either do like 1 hour live stream, or I'll put out an impressions video. At least I got content out of it. I won't go on and do a full on like review, and that's happened. There's evidence. Like I said, I got a stack of a bunch of games on my hard drive that were review codes that I didn't review. Like I said, there's nothing like I can get access to the Division 3 right now and not review it, because I just can't get into the Division. I can't get into Ghost Recon. I can't get into Rainbow Six. I'll probably have access to that. I just can't get into those games. So like, sure, I had like Far Cry was like more so, I was like, all right, let me give this one a go. If I know I'm gonna like Assassin's Creed, I know I'm gonna like a game like Immortals, you know what I mean? I might like Beyond, was it Good and Evil or whatever, like those are more my vibe. So the games that are typically my vibe, until they drop one that pushes me over, I'm like, okay, then in my opinion, like, okay, this has to be the best one in the game because I liked it. Until it was like that with arcane games. I didn't play, and like, for example, a lot of people make fun of me for capping for the Bethesda purchase, right? But I haven't beaten an arcade game. Like, I don't like I don't like Dishonored like that. I tried Prey. And so my experience with arcade games, yeah, I played a lot of them, didn't finish any of them because I don't really care for many of them. Then Deathloop comes out. I didn't get a review code for that. I spent it only costed $60, but whatever. Yeah, so bought the game, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the best game from Arcane. It has nothing, like, I don't know why I can't have, like, people have this.
You don't need to explain yourself though, because you already said your reason. You talked about the things you liked in the game. But and your experience that's your experience. Everyone else, if they feel a type of way about the game, that's how they feel. But if they say you're capping, they don't even worry about shit like that at all, because they're trying to impose how they feel about the game on you because they didn't like it. Yeah. And you posted your review. You even had like the little stream that you did where you were playing it for the first time too. So I seen that you actually enjoyed the game. So no one here in the podcast doubts you. Yeah. I mean, people want to say that. If they want to say that because, oh, you like Ubisoft game, like, we know you fuck with Ubisoft, but like, you genuinely enjoy the game. It is what it is.
Yeah, like you think I'm gonna be playing that free to play shit that they just put out? Absolutely not.
I had my little reaction to that I posted up on YouTube the other day, and let me tell you what, dude. That's the one thing I'm worried about is Ubisoft's gonna go into, instead of doing what they need to, they're just gonna do all these free to play.
Yeah, that's the thing that scares me about them, dude.
And they're taking all these beloved franchises, so now they're ruining Ghost Recon. You know,
they've been ruining Ghost Recon.
Well, yeah, but instead of like returning Ghost Recon to like at least try, at least try to restore Ghost Recon to like its glory days, because like
the thing is though is like what you consider its glory days, they don't consider its glory days. Like they're making way more money off these IPs now than they were back then.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. I just said Tom Clancy would be definitely rolling in his grave if he saw the shit that Ubisoft.
All they need to do is remove his name from some of these things. Like,
that's what I'm saying, man. How you gonna call like Tom Clancy was all about like political, tactical, like warfare and stuff, and you're telling me a free to play game with 100 people trying to extract themselves.
I mean, Ubisoft still does that.
Familiar.
Ubisoft still does that because all Far Cry 6 is political. So
well, yeah, but what I'm saying,
sure.
what I'm saying is, I think Far Cry 6 is going to be the last that we're going to see of like these big single player.
No, they're still going to do those. They're just not. They're not going to take a whole lot of risks in terms of making newer things. Like they're going to stick to the ones that make them money, because Assassin's Creed still makes them plenty of money.
Yeah.
So there's no real reason to stop doing that. Far Cry makes them plenty of money.
They put out the free to play version of Assassin's Creed. I'm pretty sure that's the thing that's being made.
I don't want that, man.
I'm pretty
that
sure
shit would make me probably. That shit would probably make me cry.
Ubisoft came out and said that they're gonna stop.
Yo, bad fact. I'm doing it now. Microsoft acquire Ubisoft to keep them making traditional games. I don't know, man.
I kind of don't want Microsoft to attach themselves to Ubisoft.
Ubisoft isn't bad. What is everybody's beef with Ubisoft?
I don't think Ubisoft's bad, but I think they're turning into something that's bad.
And what's that?
I think they're
stagnation,
destroying their. Yeah, they're sticking to one formula, which is just open world big. Like games. I mean,
this isn't nothing new. They've been doing that for years.
But it's now finally getting to the point where it's getting very stagnant. It's getting very boring, and they're not doing anything innovative. And so now, instead of doing something innovative, they're like, okay, well, we're going to make a whole bunch of free to play games with these.
All right, so explain to me, what would you do if you use Ubisoft when you're making more money off of these, stagnant games? Like, just because you don't like them, every Far Cry sells more than the one previous for that. Every Assassin's Creed breaks records one previous to that. Like,
I'm not saying they don't. I'm only talking from the perspective of a fan of these game series. I'm not talking about. I don't have money at stake in these, so I can't talk about any business decisions. So I'm not saying that obviously what they're doing is what they're trying to, at the bottom line, trying to make $1. But I'm not going to give them my $1 anymore. That's what it's going to be. I'm not going to sit there and buy all these battle passes for these free to play games and buy these skins for all this shit anymore. Like,
I agree.
They're going to lose me as a customer. Like, I'm not looking. Yeah, you're a business. Yeah, you're going to make money. You're going to go where the money's going to go. I am the consumer, and I can choose to not support you and where you decide you want to take your thing, because like I look at it as they're ruining these franchises. They're tarnishing these names. You look at Rainbow Six Extraction, which is about fucking aliens, and now you got Ghost Recon Frontline, which is just a 100-player battle royale type mode. You got X Defiant, which I was okay with X Defiant when it was the only one announced, because like I got the spin. They're like, hey, they're taking all these factions from these, they had the factions from Splinter Cell, the factions from the Division, and Rainbow, I think Rainbow Six, I don't know how many, there's 4 different or so factions. And like, I kind of got what they were getting with, with it. But then it was X Defiant. Then it was, well, now we have this Division free-to-play game. Now we have this Ghost Recon free-to-play game, and we're going to ruin Rainbow Six. And it's like, at what point is it enough that, like, they realize, eventually they're going to realize that the people don't want this. And it's going to hit them in the pockets.
Regardless how you feel, they're still selling more every installment. So, like, clearly, a lot of people want this. It's just old fans don't want this.
I don't think Ghost Recon Breakpoint sold more than its previous installment. I'm just.
Well, I mean, we're talking about one franchise.
Rainbow Six Siege. I mean, I get like I like Rainbow Six Siege and I enjoyed it for its like multiplayer game, but when they showed like these games, Rainbow Six, I think it was Patriots, whenever that got shown off, dude, like I loved how that looked, and we never saw it. It ended up getting completely scrapped, and then
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, dude, like they showed like all these potentials that they could have had with these series, and I think people would have been on board with them because it's not like these franchises wouldn't have had a great multiplayer game. Like I loved, like, I don't know if you guys played the Vegas 1 or Vegas 2 multiplayer, but dude, those were sick.
Even
man. Those were like the
co-op,
Ghost Recon, Advanced Ghost Harder.
Like playing through them, I played through them campaigns in co-op and played those terrorist hunts, and like they were like I sunk hours into Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Like I got all the achievements in that game, and I absolutely adored it. And then after that, they did Siege, which I enjoyed Siege, but I definitely wouldn't put it on the same page, in my books, obviously, it's my opinion, as what Vegas 2 achieved by any means.
What do y'all think about? I think they're trying to find a way to change the Splinter Cells. That's why I think they never
there's been all I see.
It's impossible to monetize it in a way that they would want. Splinter Cell literally for it to be. They have to turn it into like some sort of as this big open world pseudo RPG,
like as a service,
as a games as a service. It just wouldn't work.
And you can't do it with a stealth based game. I mean, you gotta look at Splinter Cell's all about being stealth and being tactical and stuff like that. I don't think you can take that and make it into a big third person, open world style.
Here's the thing. I mean, I appreciate Ubisoft for consistency. Like I said, they they put out plenty of AAA games on an annual basis. Not all of them are great. But like I don't know what it is that like I made some crummy decision with certain IPs, like Ghost Recon and then No Splinter Cell. They're bringing back Prince of Persia. They just need, honestly, they do need balance. But at the end of the day, like, everybody else has their formulas, you know what I mean? EA does the same thing with other IPs. Grand Theft Auto doesn't get, Grand Theft Auto makes the same, game every 10 years now. And Ubisoft has what 5, 6, 7 different IPs. Sure, every game IP has its own formula, and it's the same formula with every release, but it is what it is.
It depends on the franchise too, because some franchises do move forward and they innovate in certain ways where others don't, and they just become stagnant, very formulaic. Like obviously, like you look at how Activision handles Call of Duty, like it's very similar to what Ubisoft does. Like just very formulaic. It rarely changes. They rarely ever push the envelope with their games. Whereas like another franchise, what can I point towards? Like GTA, like Rockstar actually tries to make GTA different and distinct from each entry, and you see the progression in the talent and the engine, the mechanics, and the level of detail that they have inside those games. That's an entirely different case, but they don't pump out GTA games like every 2-3 years. That's another thing.
I don't necessarily think just making something more detail and focusing and making something look nicer isn't evolving that. Like to me, as good as GTA 5 was, they make quality products. I don't think they push the envelope. I mean, for the most part, San Andreas
for their franchise, they do though.
I just don't see that.
Say whatever the hell you want about like how much GTA like improved over the previous iterations. I'll play Vice City, San Andreas, or GTA 3 over GTA 5 any day.
I've always considered every GTA just a reskin of the one before that with different character in a different region.
All right, so how about Red Dead 1 to Red Dead 2?
I said GTA. How did we get to Red Dead?
I'm just bringing up a different franchise.
I'll say right now, yeah, Red Dead's basically the same as GTA. How can it not be?
Okay.
It's literally a big open world game. You can't sit there. It's Western. That's it. It's GTA.
All they're doing is modernizing mechanics. That's all.
Let me ask y'all a question. Should if y'all can hear me.
Yeah.
All right. In terms of all these games that have long-running franchises and everything, and like you can include God of War, you can include you can include like a multitude of titles. What exactly, as a gamer, not a developer, not a whatever, just a consumer, what are you guys expecting to be like this revolutionary thing? Like, we're not going to get anything that is on the same level as, like, let's say like a Metal Gear Solid, or we're not going to get something on the same level in terms of gameplay design, or just like gameplay in general, just to like revolutionize, just to recreate the wheel again, like a Mario 64. So what exactly are you expecting these titles to produce that's going to just like blow your mind? Like, you know what these games are by their genres, and there can only be slight differences in terms of like storytelling, pacing, atmosphere, and all of that change as these titles as they continue on. So like, what are you expecting them to do exactly?
I think
Like-
the biggest thing that annoys me with the Far Cry thing is, like, I'm tired of people saying it's more Gears, it's more Halo, it's more Far Cry, because it's just like, dude, like, that's what their fan base wants, and like, and I get that you guys want something different than what it is, but like, I played Far Cry 6. Was it anything different than Far Cry? No, but when has making a good formula game and doing a good job at it has always been a bad thing? Like, the same people saying that, like, look, Uncharted changes to a point between installments, but a lot of the, you know, foundation Uncharted is built on is the same shit. Like,
It's the same shit. Yeah.
I got something
You
to say about
you say
that
the
too,
foundation, but the game does progress further, though. Like, the
How?
scale
How
of the
so?
game. All right, so look at Uncharted 1 from Uncharted 2. You can't tell me there's not a big difference in the way
Well,
that
there's
the
a
game.
huge difference between.
That's
the
what I'm
first one and
saying. Like,
Well, come
like,
on. So you're telling me Assassin's Creed hasn't changed since the first game?
Is my point.
oh yes, it definitely has. It definitely has. Like, I'm
This
not
is like in
discrediting
what-
that game, but like, you can't say that to every franchise.
Yo, listen, look at this. Look at the Battlefield joint. Look at all the people that were saying Halo is just Halo, but Battlefield is literally just Battlefield 4 on steroids right now.
It is. It
It's
is.
the same Battlefield.
And
Well,
it's like they
okay,
said,
people-
like, they mentioned it.
I think
And-
the gripe that people, and mind you, I don't have a gripe with Far Cry 6. Like, I am pumped for Far Cry 6, but I think what people are griping about is that every single game, and like I think Addict said, that's been unknown, but every single game that Ubisoft does follows a very, very, like, every game. It could be Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, like Immortal Phoenix Rising, I would even throw under this category. Everything that they've put out follows the same formula over and over and over. There really is no difference other than your character and your baseline story of it.
Did you play Immortal Phoenix Rising? It's
I got-
nothing like those games.
Like, because like
He's talking about the-
little
he's
bit-
talking-
I'm not
he's talking about the,
story,
like,
I'm
the
talking
reach
about, like,
points,
like,
but
yeah.
see that's fine though, because it doesn't take away from the gameplay. Like, a lot of companies do this. It's just, I feel like the only people we hold to the fire is Ubisoft.
No, I
that's
don't.
not true.
No, I don't.
That
I
is
don't
not
think so.
true.
I don't think
The
so.
same thing happens to 2K. The same thing happens to Call of Duty and all
But
these other
these games are
franchises.
always some of the most
Madden.
sold games. So
And
clearly
that's
it's
fine.
a
And that's
mass
fine.
majority
That's
of
fine.
people love
if
these
they
games.
sell, they sell, but it doesn't mean that the game is good. You still have hardcore
Yeah.
gamers in these
Oh,
communities
bro.
that still complain about these games and say, hey, like, you guys need to do something different. You can't be doing the
Bro,
same thing every year or
Dope, what
stripping
you-
out features from the game that we had in previous
No,
iterations.
no
like,
offense though, but you're saying for them to do something different, but they're still selling game busters. So
okay,
like, I
that's-
get.
all right. So you
But
want to
that's the point
keep
that we-
you want to
that
keep
we
getting the same
understand,
thing
though.
over and over again. Then you could keep talking about they
I
selling. they're selling.
enjoyed Far
Where's
Cry
the-
6. I'm not the one that said I didn't enjoy it.
I'm not saying that you
I don't
said
think
that.
anybody
but
said that.
The topic
I don't think anybody
is
said that.
you're telling me the game is selling. Fine, the game is selling. I'm not arguing with you about that. Do you want the game to be the same? Don't you like innovation and expansion upon what you already have?
It's
But
a
hold on,
thin line,
like
though.
to Dope Boy,
No.
like to Dope. Like, it's just like when people say, and I mean, we hear gamers in this community state this all the time. They always say innovative. They always say this is game changing. They always say this and that, but they never specify exactly what they're looking for or what they're talking about. And it's just like, it's okay that something is selling. Like, that's fine. Like, I mean, people bought fucking cardboard, for fuck's sake. Shit will sell. It's just like, the point of this is this that like for fucking Ubisoft, it's just like for Ubisoft. Every time I turn on their games in any game, like it's like those films that show like a teaser trailer, but they reveal every fucking thing practically. Like they reveal plot points, shifts, changes, all of that. It's the same thing with Ubisoft games. It's like you turn them on and then like you exactly the like you know where to go, you know what to do. You almost can tell what's gonna happen, like when it's gonna happen, and like it's just like I guess people are just tired of being able to predict what's going to come. Like when you turn a game on, like you don't want to be able to read and map out.
I got a question for you. I got a second question for you. What do you think is going to happen at the end of Far Cry 6?
Like I haven't got.
Take out the bad guy, boom, you win.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you think is going to happen?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just like
because it's predictable. I just want to know. Like
Fuck that. They're like 5.
Sometimes it's not the destination, but it's the journey.
5
right?
was the best
The journey
ending
is
of all Far Cries, bro.
The
5
only
was the
Far
best one.
Cry that I didn't really gravitate towards 100% was 5.
Mm-hmm.
I loved 4. I loved 3. I loved 6. Like to me, it's just
love
like
5.
if the franchise and the people playing it love these games. Like I
Then
get
they're
it,
gonna
you guys
keep
want
making
certain mechanics to change, but it's just like if the people that love the franchise still are about the franchise, why should they change anything?
Yeah, they're
Like,
gonna keep making them.
And they don't have to. If that's the way that they make their money,
Yeah,
go
see,
right.
that's
ahead.
what's selling.
Like,
Then.
you see this happen. It's not just in gaming. This happens in other franchises. Like they don't have to cater to my needs. They really
Yeah.
don't. But me personally, like Ole Man said, like we're not gonna buy the game. And
Yeah,
that's
of course.
it. We're either not gonna buy the game or we're gonna wait for it to go on sale for like $15-10. And then we'll play.
You're gonna look and see what platform
That's
you
just
be
my
talking
that's just
from.
my solution because I'm not gonna like you don't see me on Twitter or making videos like bitching about Ubisoft. I'm not that guy. I prove it through my actions. That's it.
It's about Ghost Recon. I'll tell you that right now.
Like Optimus says, speak with your wallet. That's what I do.
Yeah, no, like I mean, shit. If it's something in a game that you're not really feeling, it's okay to not deal with it or to have your gripes with it on why you're not participating in the title. Like it's fine. The like we know that Smooth loves Ubisoft games, so it's just like shit. That's Smooth bread and butter. Like that's Smooth. Like to see Smooth get the support that he does from Ubisoft, it speaks volumes. Like it's really cool that he can get like these codes and that he can review these games. Like I mean, like it's really dope. Like they appreciate him as a fan, and that's really
Smooth
cool.
like PlayStation games too, though, and he like EA games too.
I guess the reason I don't really get that concept is because like a lot of the games I do play are sequels, you know, for the most part. Like Halo Infinite, it felt great, but at the end of the day, is there anything drastic to how that Halo felt compared to other Halos? Like, not really.
Compared to 5 it did. Compared to 5 it did. Compared to 4 it did. I could tell the difference.
I think Halo Infinite
Yeah,
feels like
but-
it's the thing. It's weird because it feels it's weird because Halo Infinite feels like a freaking amped up Halo 3, right? With like it's weird. It's like I can't. And I'm not saying it to be bad, but I feel like I'm so like I love Halo 5 multiplayer wise, but in terms of like the way Halo 3 plays, it reminds me more of, you know, Bungie Halo in terms of, but just like I don't want to say remastered,
like modernized.
Modernized.
Like
Halo
3 and modernized.
That's the thing about Halo. Halo feels different from each iteration. I mean, aside from like Halo 2 to Halo 3, that wasn't a big difference at all. Like very similar mechanics, but like from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and then like
I've been telling people that all the time. It's like
each
Halo
game
changes every
plays
game,
different.
and
Yeah.
but everybody say, "Oh, it's just Halo. Halo doesn't. They
Halo,
don't
like,
innovate
no, they
enough."
don't play the game.
Yeah.
They don't play the game to know that. Like they really don't.
Speaking of Halo, it is beating out Call of Duty and Battlefield right now.
I died. That's the first time I'd agree with that after I played the flight this weekend.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like when people compare it to
In what sense, though? In what sense?
And search
Stability?
algorithms.
Stability?
Actually, I was just referring to search
Battlefield.
algorithms.
I would say how the game,
Battlefield, a buggy mess right now. I have to
dude.
say that.
I'm playing on the Series X right now, and this shit needs to be delayed. I'm gonna
it,
say
get- it
that.
got a little better, bro. Like
It got
Hey,
lower
we ain't got a little better. I'm playing right now.
Yo,
I
seriously.
feel like I'm gonna have an epileptic shock over here. And I don't even have
Hold on.
epilepsy.
How long you been playing it? Like,
Since I got home,
and you've been playing it for how many hours?
4 p.m. It's 9:34.
gonna change
No,
in the middle
I'm-
of this
No, it literally. Oh, yo,
I've been
listen
playing
to
it since
me.
I got home. I got home at
Look,
4 p.m. I downloaded it at 4 p.m. and I'm on this shit right now.
You ain't on that right.
I'm
on your
game
game
right now.
I'm on your
You
game
son of a
tag
bitch.
right now.
You think I'm fucking lying? You think I'm lying? Someone boot up the Xbox right now. Look up Ole Man
No,
Logan,
don't boo
and
it.
you're gonna
You
see
said
this
you on that
man
right now.
playing
It says
fucking.
Ole Man Logan Battlefield 4 beta.
Yeah,
No,
2042. No, 2042. Don't say
Yeah,
Battlefield
it's
4.
No.
So I don't want to hear that shit.
Why you playing on Xbox One?
I'm playing.
Yeah,
on
PC
Xbox
guy.
One.
You and dope
Stop,
boys
stop.
for PC guys.
I don't got, dude. I don't got a powerful like PC to play this shit on, man.
Nah, but I
My
get what
computer's
y'all
on
saying,
its
but-
last leg. I've been waiting to build a computer until prices go down, which that don't seem like that's
That's
going to be
just
till,
not
like,
happening no
3 years
time
from
soon.
now. And I've been holding out, dude, because my computer blue screened on me like the other day when I was editing some videos.
Really?
I guess
Uh,
where we see different is I look at gameplay as like a wide spectrum thing. Like I'm not talking about Halo in terms of like, you know, the speed of something. I'm talking about Halo on its foundation. Like the only time I've ever felt like they fucked that up was 4. You know, 5 to a lot of point had the foundation of Halo in it. It was just faster. Now they've slowed it down. Like to me, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you know, sure, they've sped certain things up. They've added modern features, but for the most part, Halo Infinite plays like other Halo games. And like, I don't get how we can't just agree to that. Like, sure, it might be, you know, what they've made adjustments to the speed of sprinting, and they've made adjustments to the ADS. But
I agree with
it
you on
plays like other Halo games. Like,
So yeah,
I agree
Call
with you on
of
that,
Duty,
and that's a
Call of
good
Duty,
thing.
Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo, they're gonna perform pretty well. I think this holiday season because people have been craving these games, particularly Battlefield going back to form for sure, going back to modern combat, being the biggest Battlefield game ever. 128 players within the server is going to be amazing on next gen and PC. Obviously, Halo's coming back to form. I've seen nothing but positive talk about the flight. The first one, the second one, the
It was
third one.
fire.
The majority of people who played Halo had a great time playing the game. The only gripe is co-op and Forge. At this point, I think that
The
because
only-
more people put their hands on that
That ain't
game
even right.
and there was more access to it, I think there's going to be more people who are more content with just, hey, I'm gonna play the campaign, beat it, and just play the shout down multiplayer because of how fun it is.
That's
I'm
what
just
I
worried
say.
about.
That's what I
I'm just worried
literally
about
say.
content. That's all.
And I
I'm
give
worried
I
about
give
is
you credit. I
content.
give you credit for that because you did say that. You definitely did say that weeks ago for sure.
Like
What,
it's
me
just
or
like
him?
what I played in the flight. This is like if we just talk about that just for a bit. It's like what I played in the flight, what I experienced in the flight. Like I mean, those wide spectrum things of just like mechanics and everything and what they've upgraded and done and just like the small minute improvements that they've added and just from off of the player feedback, it really does make a difference to how it feels. Like I feel like in terms of gameplay, like what it does do with the added abilities and mechanics and how those are implemented and just like I mean, we know what first-person shooters are. Like, we know what they are. So, like, to expect them to do something out of the norm, like, I need people to start specifying what they need or what they're expecting. Because you can't just say, hey, well, to the first-person shooters is a first-person shooter, or just like to the third-person the action-adventure game is just that. There are small, intricate little things in them that diversify them, that make them different, that make them stand out. So, and it's just like, why not put forth some effort, all right, play these games, get into them technically, and then come back and be like, all right, these were the specific things that I wanted to be changed, or this is how I wanted something to feel, or this is how, like, that type of stuff. Like not with just the generalisms and shit. It's just like, oh, I wanted it to be, like, faster, and it's just like, okay, but in what terms? Like, it's just like that type of shit.
I agree with you. I've always had that issue with people when it comes to the Halo franchise. Like they'll be like, well, you know, because me and people that play Halo, we always argue on what they feel like Halo is, what I feel like Halo is, because I've always felt like Halo is the map control. That is the foundation of Halo when it comes to multiplayer. Like fighting on the map for certain sections of the map, because you know the power weapons that you really need is on that section, and you know, deciding as a team what is acceptable to let the team have. You know, am I going to fight for the sniper rifle or the sword? I've always felt like that was, you know, the foundation of the Halo multiplayer, and that's where I always felt like is the only reason I didn't like 4, because I felt like that was non-existing in that. But when I would talk to people and ask them about questions like that, you know, I just don't like it because it doesn't feel like Halo when it comes to Halo 5. I'm like, well, what does Halo feel like to you? It was almost always crickets. Like no one could explain that to me. But when I asked, but you know, to be more specific on what they felt like Halo is, it's almost every single time they don't know how to explain it. And it's just like, if you can't explain it to me, then I don't know what to do with you anymore.
How do you expect the developer to take your feedback if you can't even explain it to another gamer?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why, you know, that's why I respect Chris Gunfield, because you know, he's always been very vocal about what he wants from Halo, and he can actually explain to you why he wants something else. Like, you know, there's very few people that's on that section where, you know, we don't need ADS in Halo, we don't need sprinting in Halo, that I've always been confused about, and I've never really, you know, it's not that I disregard their criticism, because I do accept their criticism, but I've never really took it seriously. But, you know, Chris is one of the people, he's on that side, but, you know, when he explains it to me, he's one of the few people that I'm like, all right, I can get that. I understand what you mean by that. And I think, you know, I 100% understand with you. Like, when it comes to explaining what you want from a franchise to do different, like, we need more conversations like that instead of just saying it's trash because it's the same shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And also it's an arena shooter though, dog. It's the last arena shooter on consoles. They're not going to change the multi, like you said, map control.
Gate's technically an arena shooter, isn't it?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but I've not played it, but I think that's an arena shooter.
From that era.
I would recommend Splitgate, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
If you want to play a few matches of it, it's actually a pretty solid free-to-play game.
I told Smooth, man, it's much easier.
I don't like games that have these alternative objectives in the middle of just outside of just being a multiplayer shooter. I can't do them.
You can just play. They have SWAT. They just have like, arena. Like you don't have to play like the objective ones.
I'm talking about creating portals and shit like that. Like shit
that's not.
They don't do that. They don't really.
I've seen people do some crazy shit with that.
There's some crazy people, but it's definitely, I think, in the masses,
it's not
downplayed. You ain't gonna be seeing like too many crazy people doing it. It's the best way I could describe Splitgate is it's Halo 4 with portals. That's the best way.
Because it still got map control. Halo 4 didn't have map control.
Well, I mean,
I'm talking about how like the guns.
You talk about like I think
I'm just talking about how
more like the gameplay. Like, because I always felt like Halo 4 is the closest thing you'll get to Halo in a COD universe. And I feel like they kind of tried that same similar type of gameplay, but the difference is, you know, they did put the map control in it, and they put that portal shit in it, which is crazy. Like that makes I do see similarities between that and Halo, but that map shit makes it not Halo. People need to stop comparing that game to Halo. Like, that game is crazy. Like, I've seen people have a loop of portals and just continuously getting headshots using both of those portals. Like,
yeah, but I shouldn't be killing like that in that game. I'll be mashing in that joint. Like, I'm like, dang.
Why you don't give yourself some credit? You know what I mean?
When he hop on Halo, he
it's free. It's free.
Yeah, I'm trashing Halo now, bro. This shit. Somebody said it was easier. I'm like, hell no. Like, this shit is not. I think it was King Thrash or somebody saying that. Like, Halo more easier now. Like, I'm thinking like
easy against them bots.
Please playing against bots.
How would he know? He's busy shooting out tires and fruit. Like, how would he know how he's
not easier, dog? Like.
Well, you know, I got in an argument on ILP because, you know, I was talking about Kenna, and I said, you know, one of the things that disappointed me, which I never said it like the game was going to be trash or anything. It just Kenna doesn't appeal to me, and I said I just don't like how they went with a Pixar look. Game looks gorgeous, but then nothing's moving really. It looks like a standing still picture. Now, sure, people brought up the slightest movement when you move in grass, knowing damn well I'm not talking about that. Like, when I see like a picture kind of game, I expect the entire picture to really immerse me in it. And like when you can ask Kid, because I brought it up, I'm like, yo, why is none of those trees moving like at all? And to me, it wasn't
wind mechanics,
necessary.
nothing.
Yeah, but you see wind effects in the game, but you don't see nothing moving because of the wind. And that was the only thing I had, I brought up. It's like, because people brought up the same things happen in Halo. I was like, but I'm playing Halo for different reasons, if that makes sense to you guys. Like, if I play Kenna, one of the reasons because I really enjoy the art style, the way that game pops out. But then when you really sit there and look at the screen, you was just like, yo, like, no, nothing's moving. And like, and it's because of the art style they went to and because of how that game looked that stands out more to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like games that look so good that some of the details, like details
about,
stick out like that, or like the flaws stick out easier in games like that.
It's more about like that pixel thing they did, like the pixel art style, like because those games always look impressive, like extremely impressive. Yeah. And it's just like, I brought that up, and oh my god, one would think that I was going around stabbing people in the eye sockets, man. Like it was just like, oh, Addict, I don't know, you think, oh, you're being ridiculous. I'm like, look, I'm not saying that game's bad. I'm not telling you not to go play it. I'm just saying from the outside looking in, it is kind of weird that none of these trays are moving. Like,
yeah.
The moving vegetation.
People were making memes about me. Like it was ridiculous.
I still think you would like the play. I think if you play it, you'd like it.
I got to see more because I've noticed that like the parrying in that game is kind of jacked up, and I've noticed that they encourage you to parry. So I'm not playing that till that's completely fixed. Because I saw Jack Move almost have like an aneurysm playing that game because of the parrying.
So a couple of you, I don't know if we had a podcast since the Tokyo Game Show.
No, we haven't.
So what exactly? Because I Tokyo 5 in the morning. I was asleep.
Nothing. The biggest announcement.
They announced Scarlet Nexus on Game Pass.
Yeah, Scarlet Nexus on Game Pass, and the biggest announcement was pretty much Scarlet Nexus on Game Pass. They did the ID Up program. They're really working with Japanese developers over there. I don't know if maybe some Chinese developers, but they're really working on that. And then localization. And I get it. Those are big announcements, but it's just like, to me, it's like sitting there saying I was being racist because, I was stereotyping what the Japanese fan base want to play. I'm like, so they're not called Japanese role-playing games for a reason. Okay, I got you. So they're not Japanese role-playing games. Like, my entire life has been a lie to me.
They call them that because they're made there, but to kind of like, to classify or to kind of like put people in a box by their region is... Yeah, like it's just kind of weird because it's like you have like Americans like me, like who like to go out and discover foreign games or foreign films and shit like that. And usually Japanese is usually you don't have to have something pander to them per se, but you can have games that have like their culture in it or something like that to a degree. But sometimes if just a game is just a good game, like there was the announcer there from that show. She's a big Halo fan, and she's Japanese, obviously. She's a huge Halo fan. And there were oh, good.
No one is saying, like, I never said that, not to cater and give those type of games to that audience because it's going to come there naturally because it's on the Xbox platform. Yeah. I'm saying that in terms of what that demographic generally gravitate towards because there's a reason that when some of these games come out, they're only in Japan because they don't feel like a Western market will buy it. So it's just like, imagine being in the Western market and no Bethesda games exclusive. Like, we don't get none of those games. We get no Halo games. Like, no Western market games that appeal to us are not being exclusive. We would feel a way. We feel that way already. People always saying Xbox don't really got games to gravitate towards them. Imagine what an Eastern audience feels when there ain't no games that appeal to them on an exclusive matter.
But I mean, like, we don't know what. See, like, that's my point. Is this that like. The range of what people's interests are, it goes beyond where they are. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it goes like beyond that. Like, I mean, I would have never expected folks from like let's say like the Taiwan or like Korea to be fucking with Halo the way they are. I didn't expect that. So like, but that was me going into it thinking that like, I mean, they wouldn't gravitate towards it because it's Xbox and shit like that. Nah, like it has like a good support out there.
And I understand that, but it's like I said earlier, like these publishers, these Square Enixes, Namco loves doing it. Like they constantly release only games in Japan because they don't think a Western market would buy it. They wouldn't do that if they didn't think the Eastern market wouldn't buy it. But they know the Eastern market will buy those games. And that's the type of games that Microsoft is lacking. You're not trying to target the minority of people over there that like different type of games. You're trying to target the majority of the audience like they do the Western market.
They need to get support first. Like they need to get support first. Like,
and they're getting better with the localization. They're reaching out there to the indie developers. They're doing good on that matter. I wasn't saying they didn't do that. What I was saying is they need to do more in terms of exclusivity to the type of games that will appeal to a lot of that market.
Oh yeah, like with some type of deals that show that they're working closely and that they are trying to reach out. That would go like above and beyond. Like they just have to get those certain deals and everything before they start trying to make titles that are like tied down to that culture.
I'll give you
and everything. I think they need to get these deals done, and they're really.
I'll give you a good example. Yakuza Like a Dragon was only on the Xbox Series X in terms of next-gen consoles. It was on the PS4, but it wasn't on the PS5 in the Western side of the world. But on the Eastern side of the world, it was on the PS5.
On the PS4
but my point is Microsoft was able to grab that exclusivity in terms of next-gen hardware on the Western side of the world, but they couldn't get them to not put it on the Eastern side because they knew that on the Eastern side it would sell on those platforms because that's the type of games that audience really gravitates towards.
But Like a Dragon was already. What I'm saying is that the Like a Dragon was already out there on the PS4 before like anything up over here. Like it was already out there.
I was referring to the next gen update, like the next gen upgrade. That was only on Xbox Series X for a while.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Tokyo Game Show and that they got.
That's literally all we were talking about.
No. I was gonna say the biggest thing that I was looking at was where we lacking at, which is fighting games.
Okay.
Let's talk about King of Fighters 15. That's coming in February. It's actually finally coming to Xbox. You know what I mean? I'm excited about that.
That's a good look.
And people need to support that, because
I won't support it, but that's a good look.
People need to support it. Why am I going to buy a game that I don't want to play?
You don't play fighting games. I know that.
That's what I'm saying. So how are you going to tell me that people got to support it?
No.
Hold on, old man. I didn't know that was you talking anyway. I was just saying in general.
Talking to the fans like who play fighting.
He's talking about fighters. He's talking about even if you're a fighting fan and you like fighters, you should support that franchise because you want to see more of that on there.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just telling you, it ain't happening over here. It ain't happening.
Fair enough.
See, that's just unfortunate, dude. That's unfortunate. You know why? It's unfair that, like, okay, well, we got to make sure we buy this game so they can continue to put these type of games. But, like, I'm not into those type of games. So it says, we got to be guilted into buying certain genres so other people can stop making fun of Xbox for lacking those genres. I mean, I don't think my thing is if you are a publisher developer and you make fucking games, put them for if you're not owned by a PlayStation or Xbox, put them out on any device that can run them.
The thing is though, kid, just sorry to interrupt you, it's more unless they know for a fact that game would sell, the Final Fantasies, the Kingdom Hearts. They're looking at this from, we want that Game Pass money. We want that money that they're gonna hit us up in 6 months to try to get on there. And Phil and them has been better on that. I do think they need to do better in terms of making sure stuff like Persona and stuff come on the platform, because I feel like the biggest issue Microsoft's had this entire gen is just games naturally going to PlayStation as an exclusive, and it's not really an exclusive. They're just not on Xbox, and throughout the years they've gotten that better, but they need to do even better because when that Persona 6 pops out and that's not on Xbox, I'm gonna make like 8 videos because I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, they still gotta
like a game like Persona, dude. I'd be all about supporting on Xbox. I'd buy it.
And I won't.
I
won't.
I will.
No, Nick, don't worry about it, bro. I got you. I'm gonna be like King of Fathers with you. Whoop your ass and that shit.
Oh, this is what we do then, man. Like
the thing is that like you can't brute force your way. Like Microsoft is doing as much, I feel personally, as much as they possibly can by making these deals with the indie developers, by showing a heavier presence in that region and in other regions and shit like that. Final Fantasy 16 not coming to the Xbox for however long that is, or whatever deal that is, like that just shows the relationship that Sony has with Square. Like that really, honestly, that's what it shows. Like it doesn't show that Xbox won't.
Yeah, somebody mouth smells like semen.
Yeah, if you want my honest opinion, I think what happened with that is I think there was a conversation over there at Sony. It's like, look, like, because obviously these companies, they plan years ahead of time. They're like, we're good for the next couple years, but we need to go out there and we need to make sure what didn't happen at the beginning of the PS4 happens at the beginning of the PS5. We want good timed exclusives, and if we go out fishing now, we can get them for reasonable prices and not have to overpay for them.
Yeah,
like 6 months before the game comes out. So I think they went over Square Enix. They're like, so what you guys working on? Like, they're like, oh, we're working on this, and this, and this. He's like, okay, that's when they went to Bethesda. What you guys working on? This thing, let me get those two. They tried to get Starfield, and Microsoft like slapped their hand. That's ours. Like
that's true. I think those deals was done like early. Like if Street Fighter 6 not on Xbox, that deal was done when they did the deal with Street Fighter 5.
I don't know. Square Enix and Capcom be getting on my nerve with the stupid deals they be doing. Like they be doing like stupid like deals to the point where it's like. And this is why I don't feel any type of way for Xbox acquiring studios, because I feel like sometimes it feels like Xbox acquiring studios is more done to get games on Xbox than to keep games off PlayStation. Like these motherfuckers at PlayStation would literally like Street Fighter, really? Street Fighter, that's it. That's an exclusive for and it's never coming to Xbox. These Final Fantasy games, like, and I'm not talking as a fan of those games. I'm just saying, just like it's just kind of stupid. So at that point, like, if I was like an Xbox, I would buy some of these studios and IPs with no fucking remorse. You know what I mean? If you tell me that. Xbox, buys out, Square Enix's Western division or whatever, whomever, and they typically release games on PlayStation, it's so be it. Because the thing is, I don't put it past PlayStation to buy out a fucking a regular IP for an exclusive. Like, the thing is, think about it. But Deathloop and fucking Ghostwire Tokyo. If Xbox didn't buy them, we probably wouldn't be getting them, period.
Yep. Probably not. And, I don't know. If there was a timed exclusive, they might have did it. If they wouldn't have bought it, maybe they would have, secured that permanently on a permanent basis. But, like, to me, I agree with you, kid. Like, we can't sit there and say Microsoft don't buy this publisher, Microsoft don't buy that publisher, when it's just like, look, Sony has low-key made Square Enix game exclusive for the foreseeable future. Like, sure, it's not every game, but it's all the games that matter. Like, so it's like Final Fantasy 16 done, Final Fantasy 7 done, Final Fantasy 7 Remake 2 done. Like, how many more of these games that we got to start posting and be like, look, like, sure, they're not going out and buying these publishers, but they're not doing much better. Like, to me, it's just like the only reason they're not buying Square Enix is because they might have the money to buy Square Enix, but they're not going to spend that kind of money to buy Square Enix when they're just buying timed exclusives instead.
Like, it's like it may not seem worse in the long run, but I mean, like, just to be on Microsoft and Xbox's ass saying that they're not trying at all, that they're not trying to nurture these relationships or make these deals, and maybe these deals are done before they really get into the room, is just like, then I mean, sometimes the only way is to kind of like to buy your way in, and that may seem dirty, that may seem wrong, but when your competitor is literally locking you out of content for a year or two off the and it's just like having people cook up these ideas or like these notions that like Xbox really isn't trying to get these games for that fan base that is on their platform. It's bullshit and it's unfair. So, and it's just like, yeah, sure, like maybe they didn't have the full backing of Microsoft at a certain point in time, but now they do, and now they're gonna use it. Like, and I mean, as a Xbox, as a platform owner, like for Xbox shit, it's just like, I want more of these JRPGs over here. Like, I just bought like the 2 that landed in Game Pass. I bought them because I don't want those things to leave Game Pass and then they're not there and I can't get them again. So I bought them. So because that's the type of fear that I have, is that like some of these games will come here for a time thing and they'll just pull them from the store. Maybe the relationship goes sour. Maybe this, like, it's a real fear of mine. So I bought them. So
yeah, that's cool. I mean, there's some couple RPGs I've seen on Twitter that look kind of dope. That I don't know if they were on Game Pass, but I know they just like they seem like stealth drops that people were playing. If anybody can elaborate on those, like that had recently came out. I haven't gotten to play anything. I was trying to push through Far Cry 6. I haven't played anything that dropped in the Game Pass this week, and I know.
Yo, oh shit, my bad. Yo, did you know that Visage just hit Game Pass?
What?
It was being announced that it was coming to Game Pass. Yeah,
it's announced. It's announced.
What?
Oh,
I even shared it in the DM.
It's a horror game. Yeah, you didn't see that shit,
bro.
Yo,
I wasn't.
Nah, you were on it. You were
I
on it, oh man.
You weren't in the DMs? Come on, man. I'm gonna look
No,
this up.
I wasn't hip. Like that's crazy though.
Wasn't
but
hip?
Yeah, some
What the hell
of
does
the
that mean?
Some of the RPGs that hit was Astria's Ascending and the Somnum Files A1. Those are 2 of the RPGs that just hit, and then Scarlet Nexus just hit. We need more of that shit for Xbox. So I'm hoping that they nurture these deals, these relationships, work with these indie devs over there that are doing these games. Because like you said, I think it was from their E3, or I think it was most likely from their E3. Like they showed 2 or 3 JRPGs. Like one was like a fighting game, but then the other 2 were like JRPGs that were produced by smaller teams. If they continue that up and they just continue to do that, like they'll surely be able to get some of these titles up on here, dog. Like for real. But I'm about to download Visage though. But yeah.
And then we know Marvel's Avengers went into Xbox Game Pass on September 30th. So I mean, Scarlet Nexus and Marvel's Avengers, they both went in the same day. And I think those were pretty decent drops for sure. Like I've already had the Avengers, and then obviously I had Scarlet Nexus. So these would have been both games that I would have obviously installed from Game Pass. But I think they were pretty decent drops. I think low-key Game Pass had like a killer month in the month of September. And October, I think next week Back for Blood comes out. What's up, Addict?
Did you see that Randy Pitchford stepped down from Gearbox?
I got an update on Reddit that wasn't true. Is it true?
I don't know if it's true. I just see people writing about it on Twitter. I don't know if it's true or not.
What's that? What is it?
Randy Pitchford stepped down from Gearbox.
Oh.
I mean, he said someone on Reddit said it's not true, so it might not be true.
No, true. Hey, like, so there's a couple of bangers coming out though, dog. Like, I mean, and I think like they'll have more smaller shit releases in between, like the coming soon section on Game Pass. They're gonna have titles in between those, the coming though. Because I wasn't expecting Visage. I wasn't expecting the Astria title. I damn sure wasn't expecting the Avengers. Like, so that's what I mean when
Wait,
people
actually Ascending is in Game. I know I seen that in the store. I know it was in Game Pass.
It's in Game Pass. Yeah, we talked about that last month when they announced the Game Pass announcements. I said, "Yo, this is definitely one of the titles that
You say that.
people
You
need
did.
to." Yeah, I said that one is something else. I forgot the other game that like really piqued my interest that hit Game Pass last month.
Yeah, Superliminal was good too. I beat that, loved it.
Yeah, there was a lot of stealth drops last month that was really good.
Yeah.
And this month is even more packed. Bro.
Yeah, the only game I'm looking for this month is Back for Blood and I think Rift Breaker in terms of Game Pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just a really good horror game though. Like if you
you
don't like horror games?
Nah. I have a
yeah.
limited. Like I don't have like the tape. Like the thing is, I can watch horror movies. I can't do horror games. I have a limited like. I tried playing like even like I could do a game limit like I played The Evil Within 2. I could do a little bit of that. The Medium I wasn't too, that didn't scare me at all. I thought it would, but it didn't.
That was more of a thriller more than anything else.
I'm trying to think like of like any games that mess with the element of like it's not zombies. Zombies don't really bother me like that. It's more
I'm just saying, I want to see Smooth stream Outlast. I would.
I can't do that.
Come on. Dude,
Nah,
that
that'd be
would
a
be
good
some
game.
high quality content right there, Smooth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
We definitely got to hit up co-op though on Back for Blood when that drops.
Yeah.
Let's do a Planet Xbox.
Playing Xbox at Back for Blood stream night. Yeah.
I'll play it. Like, there's a story to that shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll play it.
Let me read out these super. I think I got like 2 super chats. Let me just get to them right quick. The first one is from some random. Let me see this random Mega Davo. He says for $2, Xbox is trash.
Thanks for the $2.
Thanks for the $2, buddy.
Said your piece like a fuck out.
Geekhead 188 says daily reminder that Alice in Borderland is better than Squid Game.
Squid Game was
I
actually
got
good.
Alice.
I didn't watch Alice.
on my watch list.
That
Dude, was
shit
Squid Game, man. Squid Game was good.
Wasn't
That was good.
Alice
shit
in
was
Borderland was good, but calm down, bro. Like,
Did any of you guys play Lemon's Gate? I know that went into Game Pass as well.
I was interested at first, so I saw it was like, is it a turn-based multiplayer game? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, how does that work?
That threw me off, and then I was like, because I was interested because it looked like I forget the name of the 360 game. There was one 360 game that was like an arcade multiplayer game that kind of reminded me of that. And now when I just looked at that and I was like, how's this like a turn-based multiplayer game?
Yeah, it's like you take turns like shooting each other. Like, yeah, I don't know.
And then that just like turned me off. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, shit, I had no interest to begin with, so I was like,
especially like when there's all these other multiplayer games that's gonna be released and stuff like that, and I'm saving up points. Like I almost have $40 in rewards, and I think I'm going to redeem Insurgency. I think that's a multiplayer.
Yeah, I was looking forward to like Insurgency and maybe Hell Let Loose because I knew I wasn't going to be getting COD or Battlefield. But both of them looking super mid to me.
But I don't know. I've been watching a bunch of streams of like Series X gameplay and PlayStation 5 gameplay of Insurgency, and like that to me looks, and it reminds me because I've been having like a SOCOM itch. Like I love SOCOM 4. I love the old SOCOM games. Because they're realistic. Like, dude, you get hit like 1, 2, 3 times and you're out. And Insurgency looks like it might be able to fit that itch for me because, man, I've been really wanting a SOCOM game lately, and I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I might just have to settle with the Insurgency. And in these video games, I need to be a bullet sponge. I ain't trying to be no. I ain't trying to have a.
You're not gonna like Insurgency. Insurgency is really hardcore like that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm like. That's what I'm like wanting, and I think that might be for something.
Yeah.
Well, I'm watching this gameplay of you in Far Cry. Did you really get knocked down 3 times by that dude on the rooftop?
Yeah. The thing is, I feel like the game was mistiming my hits, and so like I would come in swinging first, and then they'll like do a standing drop kick, and like that would happen like a lot. But Yeah, man. I don't know. Like Insurgency, those tactical shooting sims. I do not find those shits interesting, dude. I do not, like, you know what I mean. And I was gonna reason why I thought Insurgency was gonna be like some sort of like, some like COD ripoff that I might find better than like COD. I just wanted an alternative, a cheap alternative, and I'm like, no, not quite. So I think my shooting like games is really, honestly, I think I've played outside of Halo. I think I've played what I'm going to play for as far as like shooters go for the year.
My only thing with like Insurgency is like I'm just worried like if I pick it up, like how long is that online community going to stay active? Because I think they released semi at a bad time, because this game was supposed to come out. I think it came out like 2017 or 2018 for PC, and then they announced it for console.
It was early access though. That was the thing.
But then it was supposed to come out for consoles last August. Like, no joke, last August. And like weeks before it was supposed to release, they pulled it and they pushed it back. And then they were kind of silent for it. And so like now that they released it and stuff, and they released it, right before you got, no matter the state of the games, you got 3 huge games coming out. You got Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Halo, and then you got this little guy, Insurgency, like just trying to hold on for dear life and say, hey, don't forget about me, I'm here too. So I'm just worried, like, if I buy it, like, how long is that online community going to be active on console, or is it just going to be, like, I don't want to buy it, spend the $40, whatever.
I think it's going to be niche. It's going to be a little niche community in there. For sure, like how Daisy is right now. Rust has a much bigger community on console now than I thought it was gonna have, because of the updates and everything. So like Rust has been popping off a lot.
I forgot about Rust. That shit.
They sucked at first though, because it was just buggy.
I remember you saying, like, you said it was like trash, and you wish you didn't, like, you cancel your pre-order, or did you keep it?
I kept it. I don't know. I used to play Rust a lot on PC. Like I was really on that shit heavy, and then I just stopped playing the game.
Shout out to Salty's Gaming. He said, I'm hyped for Halo Infinite's multiplayer over Battlefield and Call of Duty, no cap.
Let's go, baby.
Shout out to Salty. He just had like a podcast, or I don't know if a podcast, a debate with Colin Moriarty, and it featured David Jaffe. I heard it was entertaining. I haven't checked it out yet. I only got to see like the second half, I guess the aftermath of it. So I will be checking that out. I got to see how that went down. But
I want to hear that too. Shit. Like, yeah. No, but I've been playing the Avengers jump. Like, since it's in Game Pass, try it out. Like, I mean, it definitely looks better than the than the demo or beta or whatever the fuck we was playing at first. It's alright. What I expected. Like, it's not. I wish this was just kind of like a single player type of focus deal. Without the multiplayer and shit, and just like that focus. I would have definitely loved if this was more single player focus, heavy story focus, like heavy character development stuff, really? And all of that. Yeah, like it's just like, cause like I'm not really using none of this multiplayer stuff, like none of the little loot crate things, none of that shit. Like I'm just really just like avoiding it and just going through the story, and I mean it seems pretty decent. Like
I need to pay homage to multiplayer, man. It seemed like
I'm not saying I hate multiplayer. You acting like I don't play multiplayer games.
No, I said pay homage. It's a difference. It's a different. No, well, I only said that because if it wasn't for competitive gaming, like multiplayer, gaming wouldn't exist. You do know that, right? like this is where it all started, baby.
Put some respect on it, man.
Like, that's fine. Like, I mean, we know where the roots came from, but we also know we're the most gradual or like bigger changes occurred. It was just like single player stuff, and it's just like, I mean, that's not a jab at either or.
You jab
like, I appreciate them both.
You appreciate most.
Any of you guys picking up these Xbox Adidas?
Oh no!
Fuck no!
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Let's go.
I look like
Xbox Adidas. If they're
I'll
cheap,
pick up a new Xbox T-shirt.
I'm gonna put it on my Christmas list. Some Xbox Adidas.
Oh, bro.
If anybody wants to cash at me some money,
I'll be on that photo clowning you.
I'll throw my Cash App in the link.
Yeah.
Hey, Smooth, did you get the Paul George PlayStation?
No,
joint when
no,
they
I
came
don't
out?
like Paul George.
Oh man,
No, I think he's alright. I like, but I don't really care for the PlayStation sneakers. If I'm gonna buy some sneakers, it's gonna be Xbox sneakers.
I hear you.
Yeah,
Play Xbox,
it's crazy. I don't
baby.
even like the color green like that.
Nah, I like.
On my kicks.
Oh yeah, shit. I like the color green.
Nice.
This shit is lit. Like, I like the color
Man.
green.
All right. And the other thing is, I'm not sure if this is confirmed yet, but so Xbox, at least I guess I'm a part of the beta, or I don't know if it's in beta or if it's just live for everyone. But cloud gaming is available, at least on my Xbox. I was able to play Just Cause 4 without installing it. I just
No, okay.
streamed it in Game Pass. But I did notice it had the Xbox Series X and S symbol on it. So did it get like a stuff update? Because I was like, when you're streaming it, you're only getting like, a 1080p 60 thing. And I was like, if it's got a proper upgrade, I want to play the native version. But I was hesitant to download because I didn't want to waste the bandwidth and it not actually be upgraded. I've been researching it and I haven't found any confirmation that it's been updated, but it has the logo there, and usually Xbox doesn't put that logo there unless it's been updated to get its its Series X S enhancements. Yeah, but it has that that logo on it. I'm not sure. I'll probably download it to see if it's running, because the only thing I'm checking for if it's running at 60 frames or not. So
Okay. All right. Like, 'cause I don't see it. I'm not in the preview program anymore. So like, I was like, yeah, I'm alright with that. Like, but I can't wait for the update though. So I know like some really cool features are coming from this next update. Like whenever the hell it drops. But
Yeah. No, absolutely. And then I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I know next month is Xbox 20th anniversary. It looks like they're trying to tease some things. I just don't know what exactly they're teasing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I hope they do something, bro. Like, I hope they do something for the fans, for the support. Like, I mean,
yeah,
it's just like, it's been a long time coming. Like, when I think about it, like, Xbox being like 20 and the whatever, and thinking about when I first got like that big green box, that shit's crazy, bro. Like, when I'm really thinking about it, I'm like, that's crazy that Xbox has been around so long. So,
yeah. I'm looking like. So pretty much, yeah. Outside, there's only one thing, I guess. Everything else would be more so of a surprise. The only thing I'm waiting for, I guess, for the now is just for them to go through that Halo Infinite deep dive of the campaign. That has to happen. And they need to start rolling out its marketing efforts like immediately. I know they're getting a lot of praise from the flight and the Twitter talks and the trends and stuff like that, but they got to put their marketing dollars to use and actually capitalize off that. I need them to do that. Like, I really need them to do that.
Smooth. Yeah, y'all better do something, man.
You said what?
Yeah.
you act like you in the boardroom, bro. Like,
No, I mean,
like,
the thing is I feel like that element of the Halo and the big release, it's important. You got to capitalize it. You want to take advantage of it. It's well deserved. They didn't spend any marketing money on any of the things they released this year. Their budget should be big as hell for Halo Infinite to do it. And like I said, we're counting down. It's October. It's no longer summer. It's literally the fall. And they needed to be kicking it in the gear. The marketing campaign should be firing on all cylinders. I need my Mountain Dews back in the store, Master Chief on it. My Doritos, my damn Oreos, like, you know what I mean? Like, I need those promotions. I need to see Halo in the Verizon store, bro.
Halo Infinite joints that I can't use because they was expired because the game was delayed.
Nah.
So I wonder.
You ain't redeem it.
No, it didn't release.
So what? You still redeem it though?
Yo, it expired already. It said.
Well, no, you're supposed to.
I guess I. Yeah, and this is only for the. Yeah,
if I'm Xbox, right, and XCloud, Windows 11's out, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm having fucking Master Chief banners and Game Pass banners and Verizon Wireless, fucking T-Mobile, AT&T, Comcast, all that shit. But like, you know what I mean? See, this is why I went to school for marketing for no damn reason. But like, yeah, they need to take advantage of opportunities, man. Opportunities. You know what I mean?
Fair
But
enough.
thank you guys for watching, Planet Xbox Podcast episode 80. We will see you guys next week. And I don't think I got anything going on this week. Don't think I have anything major going on. But if anybody got anything, also once again, congrats to Ole Man Logan on becoming a member of the level 1 next level. Am I saying this right? Next level gaming or
level 1 gaming. Level
1 gaming. He's gonna be a writer over there dropping content. So that's gonna be that's dope. Congratulations on that. Shout out to Fame and the whole level 1 gang over there.
Shout out to Halo to the King too. He on this podcast. There too.
Shout out to Iron Lords Podcast. They just surpassed 10,000 subs on YouTube. So congrats goes out to Addict, he's there in the podcast today. Cognito, King David, Sovereign, the whole gang over there. So everybody's doing really good. So a monumental month for everyone. And this is nothing big, but I recently surpassed 12,000 followers on Twitter. Don't know when, but
that's big, baby. That's big. Let's go.
Still not enough for the blue check, but I'll take it. But make sure you guys hit the like button, the share button. And Nick, what you about to say?
Nah, because you never said anything. Like, did you play Battlefield 2042?
No, not yet. I installed it. No, this is not Battlefield gameplay right now.
So what's up? You jumping on?
I'll try. Here's the thing, right? I'm contemplating. I'm trying to practice something because it's like, do I play Battlefield, right? Do I play Battlefield or do I be responsible and work on my budgets for work?
Yo, you don't say that about no other game.
Play Battlefield.
Hold up, man.
Play like one match. It's like 15 minutes and then call it.
He said 15 minutes. That shit about to be a whole hour.
You don't gotta like
Halo.
If y'all all jump on, I will jump on.
I'm streaming that.
If y'all all jump on, I will jump on and play. I'll play a game. But I'm telling you, Battlefield, like I said, these fucking competitive multiplayer games, Battlefield, I've just never been good. And because this game has no campaign, I have no real reason to get it. So that's why
you gotta work with your team, bro. It's like, I don't know, bro.
I don't have the patience, buddy. I do have.
You playing Far Cry 6 on here?
It's a fucking single. All right, well, Far
There
Cry.
you go.
I don't have to worry about. I don't have to be competitive in Far Cry. Like, you know what? The older I get, here's the thing. I don't mind sucking in multiplayer. I don't mind. I just don't need to play.
No,
there's only 2 games where I will take it personal for sucking in multiplayer. Gears and Halo. Anything else, I don't mind. I don't mind. I don't mind sucking in the other game. I just won't buy them.
So that's what Addict used to say. It's hard trying to get you to play other games other than Gears and Halo.
No, but multiplayer wise, yeah, I can't. Cause it's just not my cup, yo. It's not my cup. Like I said, the only chance Battlefield had with me is having a campaign. It didn't. I was like, well, I have no reason to get it. What am I do? Spend $70 just to get my ass kicked? No. You know what I mean? The game doesn't even look all that good. You know what I mean? I'm happy Xbox has the marketing rights for it, but the multiplayer game I'm going to be playing this year is going to be Halo, and hopefully that holds me because they need to fix that XP shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, Call of Duty, like I said, I'm not really. Something's mentally wrong with Sledgehammer, but
they shouldn't have gotten the range.
Something's wrong with them, yo. For real,
they were a good support studio. Whoever thought that they should be making full ass games themselves. That was a bad call.
Yo, Bless. I get mad when people say I'm
mentally wrong with them.
No, Bless said I get
It's October, and like Ole Man Logan, he wrote that article, man, and I read it. But I noticed did you ever try Dead by Daylight?
Yeah, I played that garbage ass shit. Yes, Dead by Daylight. I don't like those. I do not like the Dead by Daylights, the Friday the 13th. Those games are janky as shit. I don't see the fun in them.
The Series X update is smooth as hell.
Is it?
This game,
oh my god,
it's enhanced and everything.
Really?
I will say it was janky at launch for console for sure, but it is way different now.
Yeah, it's way.
I don't
better.
know. Like
I'm hella offended. That was in one of my fives to play with friends.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I gotta check out that
link up
article
with
too.
you on that.
Damn,
I gotta link up with you on that.
You guys are really trying to make me waste
Dude,
bandwidth.
yeah, I mean, dude, if you guys want to do a little
I'm gonna be on
private,
this,
some private joints.
I'll get my wife in here. She loves Dead by Daylight. Hook up with Nick.
The community is nice though, bro. Like that's the thing about multiplayer games. But go ahead.
The community in Dead by Daylight they're a treasure. They really are.
They get shit done. Like they don't like nothing, it get changed, bro.
I mean, I downloaded just to see how it looks. Okay. But let's get out of here, guys. And Bless Red, he says the caps move. You get mad when people say you're the worst gamer on a Weapon Wheel podcast because it's false. I am not the worst gamer on Weapon Wheel podcast. Now, if you want to say competitive, yeah, I'm probably not the best at competitive gaming. I have I have 4 games that I feel like I can hold my own in. Halo, Gears, NBA Live, and Madden for the time being. I don't know why I randomly found some luck playing Madden recently. Those are only multiplayer games I will, do anything else? Nope. Me being the worst gamer is these guys think I don't know how to play games and shit like that. But right now I am the leading candidate that has the most games beat for the calendar year. And I could take a break now and still win. Like I don't have to play another game for the rest of the year and still end up with the most beaten games and people can't even pull that whole like, oh, you beat all these little janky $2 games on Xbox for achievement score. Even if you eliminate those games, which I got a couple of them in there, even if you eliminate those games, I would still be leading the score. I know BG want to do a whole point system to try to make himself win, and I still beaten more quality games, more games that are like 20 plus hours, more games that are like 80 plus Metacritic, whatever, however they want to change it. I've still beaten more games than anyone on that podcast this year. So no, I am not the worst gamer. I've played a whole wide variance of games, some at different challenging levels, and I should be more actually recognized as the most diverse gamer on the podcast, but the worst, absolutely not. So
there we go.
But thank you guys for watching episode 80 Planet Xbox. If you missed the show, watch it on demand. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you are on the other side of the globe. We are out of here. Peace.
Peace.
Battlefield.